What's up? How y'all doing? Hey, nice.
I think last year that showed how big of a hole you can get in if you start off the season poorly, and obviously you want to avoid 0-2 this Sunday. Is that sort of big picture? Is it too early to start thinking of something along the big picture line, along those big picture lines about?
No, our focus is on Jacksonville. We got to get to 1-1. They're trying to get to 1-1, and it's a home game. We want to make sure we take care of our home games, win those bad boys, not only for our season but for our fans. And we want to go out there and put on a show, and we got to do that by scoring points and winning the football game. That's the only way to do it.
Question about you running. When Jay first got here and you guys were talking, when you were expressing your preferences, I guess, for how much you wanted to run or be mobile, what was it you told him about maybe what your preferences were?
I mean, Jay runs the offense. Whatever he calls, him and Sean and Coach Forrester and those guys get together and they put together a great game plan, and we're supposed to go out there and execute it. That's my job. My job is to master the game plan and go out there and run the offense. So me running, when the opportunity presents itself, it happens, and it happened in this last game. We just didn't get very many opportunities with that. But, we're not going to sit here and talk about trying to find different ways for me to run.
When you looked at the film, what stood out to you? What did you learn from it, and what do you try to apply this week?
It's not always as bad as you think. We went out there and we did execute well. We just hurt ourselves in the red zone with the turnovers, and we can't do that. But aside from that, we moved the ball extremely well. We did execute well at times. We just got to be more consistent and put it all together.
Back talking about running. That was a nice slide, by the way, on that one run. Were you back there? Were you thinking? Did you see places to run and saying, "No, I got to hang back here," or were there just no opportunities?
I just don't think that the opportunity presented itself for me to gash the defense in that way. And it's always a threat; it's always there. But it wasn't. I'm not trying to stay in the pocket just to play quarterback. I'm trying to play the game at an efficient level, high level, and be what my team needs me to be to win. And if that calls on Coach calling more run plays, then I'm all for it. And if it doesn't and we continue to run the offense that we have, then I'll do that too, and we'll execute it to a T and go win the football game. So it's really just up to what Coach wants us to do, and we'll go out and execute it.
It'll depend clearly on the game and the opponent, and with the Texans' pass rush, I mean, that's pretty ridiculous in the league as a whole. But how important do you think it is to get the downfield looks when you have weapons like Deshaun and Pierre, and to incorporate that part of the game that wasn't really as much there on Sunday? And then also, what can you say about the Jags' kind of retooled defense? They were getting to Foles early too, and you'll see that as well.
Yeah, I mean, when you have weapons like Pierre and Deshaun and Andre, these guys can really go deep down the field. You want to get them opportunities, and we had a couple in the game. We just didn't come down with them. But, yeah, we got to find ways to open those guys up more down the field. I don't think that's any secret. You want to be able to be efficient and hit the underneath stuff, but you also got to get those home run shots in every now and then. And we'll work on getting that. And then as far as the Jags defense, the really good defense, they did get to Foles early and often in that game. We're going to have to go out, and it's the name of the game every single week. You got to go out and execute your game plan and just dictate to the defense what they're going to do, and they're going to try to dictate to us. It's all a play on words and word games, but we just want to go play. Just go play football.
Robert, what do you make of the fact that Coach came out Monday and said you guys didn't run the ball enough? And he didn't mean you specifically. He meant Alfred probably more than anybody else. Yeah,
I mean, if that's how Coach feels, then dial him up. We can give it to Alfred 40, 50 times a game. None of us are really worried about numbers. We just want to win football games, and that's what it takes. Whatever it takes to win games, that's our mindset. And we didn't do what it took to win that game. And like I said, after the game, it starts with me. I'll be better. They go as I go. That's not just something that you say. It's something you believe, and I believe it. As long as I play better and get us in better situations, we'll go out and win football games, and it starts this week.
Hey, Robert, when you're moving around in the pocket, how are you able to be aware of, let's say, if I can't slide to the right because J.J. Watt is there. Do you have enough time to process that? Or is it, how hard is that?
Yeah, I mean, you do have time to process it, and you want to be able to step up in the pocket, kick back in the pocket when there's no room to step up, and all those things come with managing the game. And I thought, with the pressure that they were applying, whether it was through blitzes or with J.J. Watt and some of those guys, we did a good job maneuvering in the pocket, but they made some plays on us that we can't allow them to make.
Robert, when you have Santana Moss inactive and then you lose Jordan Reed 7 plays into the game, those are two guys who individually, their talent alone, just the rapport you feel with them, and plus them as hot reads, how much does that change what you guys have there when you just don't have those two receivers out there on the field?
Yeah, I mean, it hurts you, obviously. You know, no one expects Jordan to go down as quick as he did. But, you know, the guys stepped in. Niles Paul, Logan Paulson did a great job coming in, filling that void, and running the plays and executing the game plan. So, yeah, it's going to hurt that Jordan's not out there, but we have to continue to try to go out and execute our offense. And I think those guys can do it.
Robert, if I could ask one more on the defense, Jacksonville's defense. Obviously, Coach Bradley was the architect of Seattle's defense, and I imagine that's a tough memory that last time you played them. But when you look at Jacksonville, do you see elements of that? Are there hallmarks that seem familiar? And if so, could you flesh that out?
Oh, without a doubt. They got very similar techniques to what Seattle does, and you know, they throw in a little bit of different things. You know, Seattle has the personnel and the players to do, you know, whatever they want. And Jacksonville has those players too. So I'm sure we'll see a little bit of everything, but you can kind of look at Seattle's defense and know what to expect from them. And I'm sure they'll throw a wrinkle in here or there because that's why you play football. That's why you game plan.
Houston brought the pressure and basically kept you guys from being able to go downfield a lot. What do you guys have to do to kind of compensate for them bringing pressure and create opportunities downfield?
Game plan and find ways to make it happen. At the end of the day, like I said, we run the plays that Coach calls, and we have to go out and execute those plays. It's not on him. It's not on anybody else. It's on us. So if we get a chance to get one of those shots, we got to come down with it. And, you know, we'll get those. We'll get those for sure.
Coach said in a perfect world there were two of your sacks that he'd rather you not take, one to take out of field goal range, the other was in the 2-minute drill. Is that just I assume that's something, an point of emphasis for you this week, looking at that, and what do you do to keep that from
a point of emphasis. You know, the sack in the 2-minute drill on the screen, trying to throw the ball away, can't take that sack. I think it was J.J. Watt that got me on that one, but you can't take that sack. I looked at the film, we all looked at the film, and that's something that you go to your offensive line and you say, hey, sorry about that one, guys. I'll make sure that doesn't happen again. And then early in the game, DJ Swearinger sacked me on a keeper, and that can't happen either. So I'll make sure that doesn't happen again. But it's not something that's never not an emphasis. It's always an emphasis, and we'll continue to emphasize it.
Robert, there's no avoiding it. You see what's going on with the Ray Rice situation right now. A lot of players have been saying that they feel like it's really difficult right now to be a member of the NFL because there's so much negative light being shined on you guys right now. Have you thought about that? Is this something that is it difficult right now knowing that there's so much attention, unfortunately some negative attention on the NFL?
I think it's, you know, for me personally and, you know, a lot of guys in that locker room, it's not about us, you know. I personally am praying for Ray Rice and his family, and I hope that they can get through this, but it's not about us and the Shield. And, you know, I know everyone wants to say it makes the NFL look bad, but it's more about them right now. So I don't want us to feel like we're being selfish and making this issue about us. It's about Ray Rice and his family and what they're having to go through and having to, you know, deal with on TV every single day. So once again, praying for Ray Rice and his family.
All right, locker room's open.